Okay. Well, I think I need to do my little body centering exercise, which I do by just rubbing my hands together until they get a little warm, then put them right over my eyes where they fit nicely. And I do that a couple, 3 times. Here comes Brenda. Cool. Hello, Brenda. Yeah, sometimes Brenda can't talk. Let's see. Glasses. Turn that clean.
Well, you can hear me. I can't, but I don't have a video.
Oh,
Hi, Brenda.
okay.
Hi. Okay.
Okay, so I tried to write a poem this week, but I got as far as a bunch of notes, and that was it. So I'll have to wait till next week for that one. So I've been reading out of my first book. So I'll read a few of those. These are a couple. There's one about my father and the one about my brother. Dad. As a boy, I helped my dad on his carpentry jobs. Riding in his truck, watching the world go by, I daydream about the future, but I was also happy to be here. In a way, I was lucky, as in pre-industrial times, I got to work alongside my father. We didn't talk much. It's that way with men sometimes. Maybe Dad was shy, or didn't know what to say. I felt a sorrow in him, too. He was carrying a weight with him, different than the loads of lumber or gravel we carry about. That was good sweat and made us feel alive. I think he carried all those fathers and grandfathers before us, all their lost dreams, all those things they built that inevitably rotted and fell down. I was young, but I could feel it too. I didn't want to carry it. Father, can't we forget? After we sweep away sawdust, see what we built today. When I got older, I'd get mad at him, as all sons must. I'd want to talk about what I learned in school, so many new ideas bursting in my mind. He kept thinking the same thoughts, shouldering the same weights. I think he wanted me to figure it out, learn how to be happy and successful. Maybe I would stop the chain of limitations. I think he wanted me to forgive him, but I couldn't speak then. Life was pushing me out to my own destiny. Years later, when Dad was dying, I tried to speak. It was still hard because I was talking to the dad in me, the one I'd been carrying around, the one I couldn't forgive. Finally, I said, Dad, do you remember that old Dodge truck you had? He smiled a smile I remembered, and I saw I needed to go back to the beginning. Riding in my father's truck, I was happy. I didn't need to speak it. Looking out the window, watching the generations come and go. It was just simply there. I was just simply there with Dad. We were going to do some work together. Still like that.
Wow. Beautiful.
Well, that's a good one, John.
Yeah.
Pre-industrial?
That's an ode to the men's groups, like Robert Bly. He said, before industrial times, fathers and sons would be working in the field together. But then the industrial times came, the father went up to the office and disappeared all day.
Ah, okay.
So he thought that was a big problem. There was that lack of bonding between fathers and sons that historically was there.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's a good one to put in there.
Pre pre-industrial isn't exactly a poetic word, but I'll think of another one.
Well, it fits the picture.
I don't know if you looked at my poem that I sent you, but it's also a poem about the loss of someone. So that it's kind of a theme tonight.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, I did read that. Yeah, it's nice. We'll hear it later for sure. Well, here's one about my brother. All my family is on the other side. Tom. Some brothers are brothers. As a kid, I'd follow Tom everywhere. I was devoted to Big Brother. His friends would tease me. Tom would let them, but only so far. His heart was way bigger than peer pressure. In confusing teen years, I knew I had to come out of his shadow. Oh, maybe I glimpsed his feet of clay. I didn't talk to him for 10 years. Then our mom died. Now it was brothers 3 and dad. He'd been living in Colorado, joined an esoteric Christian group. I'd been searching too. We had new ground and still the old ground. A juvenile diabetic, he'd always lived in the shadow of death. I was awkward in the world. Ash brothers. We could easily have been one of those brothers who trod the dusty roads with Jesus, drunk blood from the same chalice. When he died still 41, I lit a candle that burned wildly and expired quickly. Just like him, I read to him from the Tibetan Book of the Dead until I heard him say, "Stop that shit." Later in a dream, he warned me not to take life for granted. You never know. I try to remember, but I find it comforting that when I walk that road home, I will find my brother and all my brothers. Oh, that one choked me up.
Wow.
I think of all my family, my mother was the last one I wrote a poem about. For some reason, it was a harder one.
Huh.
But here's one a little different. I like this one too. It's called Strange Thoughts. Sometimes I have strange thoughts. Sometimes I wonder if it's those damn suits. The way the jackets throw your shoulders back, the way ties push your head up and restrict your breathing, the way they give you a gray self-importance. I was seduced once. I needed to wear one at work. People at the grocery and bank started calling me sir. I was in the elite club. Then one day I saw my boss frowning. He saw dirt under my fingernails. I had been gardening. I went back to the good honest sweat of carpentry. People looked at me indifferently again. Not invisible like a street person, but just an ordinary guy. Not to be feared, admired, or disdained, just me. Sometimes I have strange thoughts. What if the CEO showed up in a t-shirt with puppies on it? Would he, could he, sign the papers that chained a young girl to a sewing machine? Or allow his black oil to seep into the virgin jungle? It would be a small and silly thing, but maybe that's best. Big things put us in those suits, make us feel important, but also weirdly impotent, like we're in a colorless prison. Sometimes I have strange thoughts. What if for a day these powerful people loosened their ties, took off their black shoes, felt the earth, put their manicured fingers in the dirt and planted a single seed.
Lovely.
Oh,
Yeah.
I still like, I swear I like my early poems best. I don't know. Well, let's see. Let's read that one Glenda mentioned. It's beautiful. I remember. This is by Glenda, called The Note. A faded note on the refrigerator door. A bottle of aftershave on the bathroom shelf. I open it to recall the scent of your skin. Pull on your sweatshirt to pretend it's your embrace. Watch birds on the windowsill. Think of your gaze upon warblers and finches and chickadees perched, and your joyous laughter as they flutter about. A gray day of rain envelops my heart. I drowse in the memory of afternoon naps. A gentle drum of drops on the roof writes a song, lulls me into memories kept safe from the world, shared with myself, my companion alone. Walk through the raindrops, my hand in yours. Dance in the misty fog of my thoughts. Smile as you reach out to touch my face. I keep the note I wrote to you so long ago, to read as I pass by, to touch what you touched. Knowing you smiled when you read it at first, before the world ended a long while ago, and with no surprise took the scenic route home.
Yeah.
Lovely. What do you mean by the last
Thank
line,
you.
Glenda?
It's hard to explain. The life life is is something that can come fast or it can come slow, and when it comes slow, it's better. So when it takes the scenic route home, then it means that I have walked a path that has, even though it was short, it was still long in enough to make memories.
Oh,
Does that
fine.
make
Okay. Yeah, I see. Hmm. Lovely poem.
Thank you.
Your poems are always so relatable. Yeah, wonderful. Okay. Well, now we read some other people's poems. Oh, I've read this one a lot, but I don't know, I just love it for some reason. By James Wright. A Blessing. Just off the highway to Rochester, Minnesota, twilight bounds softly forth on the grass, and the eyes of those two Indian ponies darken with kindness. They have come gladly out of the willows to welcome my friend and me. We step over the barbed wire into the pasture, where they have been grazing all day alone. They ripple tensely. They can hardly contain their happiness that we have come. They bow shyly as wet swans. They love each other. There is no loneliness like theirs. At home once more, they begin munching the young tufts of spring in the darkness. I would like to hold the slender one in my arms, for she has walked over to me and nuzzled my left hand. She is black and white. Her mane falls wild on her forehead, and the light breeze moves me to caress her long ear. that is delicate as a skin over a girl's wrist. Suddenly I realized that if I stepped out of my body, I would break into blossom.
Mm.
He wrote those real delicate poems, but he could also write some pretty down ones. I think later in his life is. Yeah, let's see. Here's one by Anna Sweer, A Double Rapture. Because there is no me, and because I feel how much there is no me. One by Gary Snyder. Mid-August at Sourdough Mountain Lookout. Down valley, a smoke haze, 3 days heat after 5 days rain. Pitch glows on the fir cones. Across the rocks and meadows, swarms of new flies. I cannot remember things I once read. A few friends, but they are in cities. Drinking cold snow water from a tin cup, looking down for miles through high, still air. One by William Stafford. Ask me, sometime when the river is ice, ask me mistakes I have made. Ask me whether what I have done is my life. Others have come in their slow way into my thought, and some have tried to help or to hurt. Ask me what difference their strongest love or hate has made. I will listen to what you say. You and I can turn and look at the silent river and wait. We know the current is there, hidden, and there are comings and goings from miles away that hold the stillness exactly before us. What the river says, that is what I say. Here's a change of pace. It's by Margaret Atwood. Most of her poems are a bit heavy, but there were a couple lines in this poem I thought were amazing. It's called A Meal. We sit at a clean table, eating thoughts from clean plates. That's one of the lines. Wow.
Like that.
Isn't that amazing? And see, there is my heart. And see, there is my heart, germ-free and transparent as glass. And there is my brain, pure as cold water in the china bowl of my skull. And you are talking with words that fall spare on the ear, like the metallic clink of knife and fork. Safety, by all means, so we eat and drink remotely, so we pick the abstract bone. But something is hiding somewhere in the scrubbed bare cupboard of my body, flattening itself against a shelf and feeding on other people's leavings. A furtive insect, sly and primitive, the necessary cockroach in the flesh that nests in dust. It will sidle out when the lights have all gone off in this bright room, and you can't crush it in the dark. Then my friend, or search it out with your mind's hands that smell of insecticide and careful soap. In spite of our famines, it keeps itself alive. How it gorges on a few unintentional spilled crumbs of love. Wow. That's quite a powerful poem.
Mm-hmm.
It's like those movies where you see a man and a woman eating dinner and then not talking to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Some amazing lines in there. Well, maybe we need some Rumi after that. This is by Rumi. Buoyancy. Love has taken away my practices and filled me with poetry. I tried to keep quietly repeating, no strength but yours, but I couldn't. I had to clap and sing. I used to be respectable and chaste and stable, but who can stand in this strong wind and remember those things? A mountain keeps an echo deep inside itself. That's how I hold your voice. I am scrap wood thrown in your fire and quickly reduced to smoke. I saw you and became empty. This emptiness, more beautiful than existence, it obliterates existence. And yet when it comes, existence thrives and creates more existence. This, yeah. The sky is blue. The world is a blind man squatting on the road. Wow, what are the lines? And whoever sees your emptiness sees beyond blue and beyond the blind man. A great soul hides like Muhammad or Jesus, moving through a crowd in a city where no one knows him. To praise is to praise how one surrenders to the emptiness. To praise the sun is to praise your own eyes. Praise the ocean. What we say, a little ship. So the sea journey goes on, who knows where. Just to be held by the ocean is the best luck we could have. It's a total waking up. Why should we grieve that we have been sleeping? It doesn't matter how long we've been unconscious. We're groggy, but let the guilt go. Feel the motions of tenderness around you, the buoyancy.
I love that.
Isn't that nice? That's the nicest room, one of the nicer roomies I've ever read. Kind of poetic in the modern sense. Wow. That is the buoyancy. That is a good poetic word. I've never used buoyancy. Something holding you up.
That's what I say. It floats.
What's that?
It floats.
Oh, it floats.
Float.
Yeah, it floats.
It
Yeah.
floats.
Let's see. Oh, here's some strange. I don't know how to say this. Transtromer, I think is how you say it. Swedish poet. Morning bird songs. I wake up my car. Pollen covers the windshield. I put my dark glasses on. The bird songs all turn dark. Meanwhile, someone is buying a paper at the railroad station, not far from a big freight car, reddened all over with rust. It shimmers in the sun. The whole universe is full. A cool corridor cuts through the spring warmth. A man comes hurrying past, describing how someone right up in the main office has been telling lies about him. Through a back door in the landscape, the magpie arrives, black and white bird of the death goddess. A blackbird flies back and forth until the whole scene becomes a charcoal drawing, except for the white clothes and the line, a Palestrina choir. The whole universe is full. Fantastic to feel how my poem is growing while I myself am shrinking. Ooh.
I love the image of the bird flying back and forth and turning everything gray. That's cool.
Yeah. Let's see. Which one of these was I going to read? Breathing Space July. The man who lies on his back under huge trees is also up in them. He branches out into thousands of tiny branches. He sways back and forth. He sits in a catapult chair that hurtles forward in slow motion. The man who stands down at the dock screws up his eyes against the water. Docks get old faster than men. They have silver gray posts and boulders in their gut. The dazzling light drives straight in. The man who spends the whole day in an open boat, moving over the luminous bays, will fall asleep at last inside the shade of his blue lamp as the islands crawl like huge moths over the globe. Wow, there's been some lines tonight, I'll tell you.
Whose poem?
Oh, that's Transtromer again.
Oh, okay.
He's a Swedish poet. Gotta have them Swedes in there. Well, let's read another one of him. The open window. I shaved one morning standing by the open window on the second story. Switched on the razor, it started to hum. A heavier and heavier whir grew to a roar, grew to a helicopter, and a voice, the pilot's, pierced the noise, shouting, "Keep your eyes open. You're seeing this for the last time." Rose floated low over the summer. The small things I love, have they any weight? So many dialects of green, and especially the red of house walls. Beetles glittered in the dung in the sun. Cellars pulled up by the roots sailed through the air. Industry, printing presses crawled along. People at that instant were the only things motionless. They observed their moments of silence, and the dead in the churchyard especially held still, like those posed in the infancy of the camera. Oh, yeah, he's saying about those old photographs where people had to stand still for so long. Fly low, I didn't know which way to turn my head. My sight was divided like a horse's. Wow. Yeah, it's getting a little late. I better read a more. I better read a Mary. It's Mary Oliver. Morning at Blackwater. For years, every morning, I drank from the Blackwater pond. It was flavored with oak leaves and also, no doubt, the feet of ducks. And always it assuaged me from the dry bowl of the very far past. What I wanted to say is that the past is the past, and the present is what your life is, and you are capable of choosing what that will be, darling citizen. So come to the pond of or the river of your imagination, or the harbor of your longing, and put your lips to the world and live your life.
Oh.
Good old Mary. Well, let's read one more Mary here before we have to. Swimming one day in August. It is time now, I said, for the deepening and quieting of the spirit among the flux of happenings. Something that had pestered me so much I thought my heart would break. I mean the mechanical part. I went down in the afternoon to the sea, which held me until I grew easy. About tomorrow, who knows anything, except that it will be time again for the deepening and quieting of the spirit. Good way to end. Well, that cheered me up.
Yeah.
There were some lovely lines in those poems. Well, guys.
Thank you, John.
Have a good week, and I'll see you all next Wednesday.
All right. Thank you, John.
Okay, thanks.
Bye, Glenda.
Hi, Brenda, Barbara,
Bye-bye.
Lillian.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye bye, all.